is a midlife pop culture show for those of us who were born a few years ago. Let's show those millennials all the things we know. Being old makes us wise. Sometimes we even go outside. We know about life before 1999. You haven't seen nothing yet if you haven't lived life pre-internet. Listen up, this is stuff you won't want to forget. Midlife.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to a new season of the Midlife Pop Culture Show. We're going to go about 6 shows every week now. That I have with me today to start out the show, Mary of the super fun, exciting Cruisin with Mary. Mary, thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
I am flabbergasted that you're on my show.
Oh, he's coming, folks. He's coming tomorrow on mine. We're going to have fun.
When you said you were going to come on for the premiere episode of the new summer season, I was more than thrilled. So thank you.
Thank you.
You inspire me to do public access TV, and everybody that does public access TV, fantastic. Manchester Public Access new studio is fantastic. The people here are fantastic. It's a great way to.
It is.
And today we're going to do this little history about Manchester, New Hampshire. So 603-785-0259, 603-785-0259. Call in, ask Mary a question, but I will, look it, we have a call right off the top. Hi, Tom.
This is Tom Tomilson. What a delight it is to talk to you, Mary, on the Midlife Pop Culture Show. Oh, I enjoy your show, and I wonder if you could possibly reminisce a bit or give us your memories of the location that SNHU Arena is now located, and what used to be there, and revolving around automobiles, classic cars, and just the general feel of how that area was. Tom Tomilson, I used to have a few cars that perhaps may have been driven down in that area, and I'd love you to bring me back to that special time. This is Tom Tomilson, signing off.
Thank you, Tom.
Tom, thank you very much. Mary,
well, I can tell you a lot.
let's start. What year did you get your license? Did you start driving?
I've been driving 60 years.
Okay, what year, how old were you when you got your license?
I was 16.
16. What was the culture or the feel of where SNHU Arena, right across the street from us, was? As I recall, it was a parking lot with a Sears in it, or a parking lot?
It was Zayres.
Zayres, okay.
Ferretti's.
Really?
Ferretti's was in
Do you
there.
describe kind of what was it, 60s, 70s era?
That would go, I would say, the 70s, but if you go back to the 50s, back then was nothing but, right? The whole area was nothing but a big block. That's all it was. I know, because we lived there, right there.
What do you mean by a big block?
It was apartment buildings. The old, and back up Sanu today, the only half of that alley today, it's going toward the other side of Lake Ave and Central Street today. It was called Costacca Street.
So this is right where SNHU Arena used to be. Was apartments before it became a department store.
It was called the Duguay Buildings.
Really? And how big was? So that's right at the end.
This was the whole. This took the whole street in. There
Really?
was Graham that ran Grand State Fruit. He was underneath us when we lived there. There was a fish market.
This was in the parking lot.
That's right.
This is where the SNHU once stood. Was
That's
apartments.
where it was. There was apartments there because we lived there.
Wow. It's kind
Back
of
then.
it's kind of interesting that now the big push now in the city is to get apartments built.
Yeah. Then after they moved, they took down Then they brought in like Zayre's, and then Freddy's came in at the same
What was
time.
Ferretti's?
Freddy's used to be on Elm Street. From Elm Street, they went to over where Zayre's was in the parking lot where Sanu was. From there, Freddy's went up on Hanover Street
Wow.
and everything.
Tom mentioned something about cars.
The cars came in.
My recollection of Elm Street when I was a kid was when you went down Elm Street, there would be people zooming back and forth on Elm Street in front
Cruising.
of where Zayre's was, and they would park in that Zayre's parking lot. Can
Yeah.
you take me to that time?
Yeah, because I had one back then.
Was that the car that you kind of always show on your Cruising with
No,
Mary
no,
car?
that was later. That's with my caddy I had later on.
Oh, really?
back
so
then-
it was a big thing to cruise up and down.
It was. I had a 1960. No, I take that back. It was a 70 Torino back then. Big blue Torino that I used to
So-
drag.
so-
I literally drag race with that. Back
And
then.
there was a lot of drag. It was more acceptable back in the 60s.
Yeah, and nobody
70s?
bothered you back then.
Right. What kind
That
of?
was your fun.
Huh?
That was fun, to do.
What? I remember my parents when we went down to Elm Street. There was a shop there. I think she knew someone had a dress shop, and I thought it was cool that they had like a soda fountain. And did that ring a bell to you? It was like a dress shop, but you went in there, and she had her own little soda thing.
Yeah.
Do you kind of remember that?
Yeah.
Or?
Oh, yeah, like I said, I really grew up in Manchester. I grew up in Manchester.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Concord, but I was.
Where did you go to high school?
I didn't go to high school around here.
No. So when did you end up in Manchester?
When I was a kid, I was maybe not quite a year old
Wow.
when we moved to Manchester. I've been in Manchester almost just about all my life.
I just think it's unbelievable what you're talking about, that it was an apartment complex, then Zayre's, then it had the cars, a lot of cars. You can hear cars still flying down
Yeah.
Elm Street here. But it was more of a, like I said, it was more relaxed atmosphere.
It was. And there was good times for everybody back then.
What's the most trouble you've ever gotten into?
Never,
Really? Never got a ticket for speeding down Elm Street?
never.
Let's
You
talk
got to know how to do it.
So you just never got caught.
That's right.
Okay. Mary.
Mary.
Oh, this is Englishy. Hi,
This is
Englishy.
Englishy. Oh,
Hi.
What a great honor it is to be talking to you. I have watched your show, Cruising with Mary, so many times. Oh, and we absolutely love your banter with your whimsical panel. Oh, that you have on is so wonderful. Oh, Mary, if you could enlighten me with your 5 favorite restaurants in the Queen City, somewhere that I may already go to, but maybe some new ones that have just popped up. Oh, some standards of excellence in the culinary field would be lovely, Mary. Oh, Mr. G, it was so nice for you to have Mary on of Cruising with Mary. Oh, Mary. Oh, okay. I look forward to your answers.
Well-
Oh, thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you, Miss English.
Englishy, thank you very much for calling. So let's jump right into this. Top 5 restaurants, and let's do it from, it's okay if they're closed now or still open. What is going to be number 5 being good, but number 5 and top will be number 1? What comes to mind right off the top?
The Webster Lunch.
Webster Lunch. What was that?
That was an old one. That's where the hotel is on Elm Street. It was known as the Webster Lunch.
What hotel are we talking about?
The one right on Elm and Granite Street, right across from the park.
Where the credit union used to
No,
be?
right across from the park on Elm Street.
Okay, and what kind of
What
food?
they call that one? What they call that? All I know is a hotel on Elm Street.
What was their fare? What was the food like?
The food was delicious.
Category, sweet,
Okay.
savory,
It
home,
was all home cooked.
What
It's all
what was
home
your
cooked.
go-to? Like what were they known for?
They were known for their turkey hot sandwiches. And all you had to do is say Webster lunch. Oh, we're going there for hot turkey sandwich. That what they were known for that.
Did
for
they
that.
put like gravy and mashed potatoes, that kind of thing?
And you had you could toast your bread, or just take your bread and put it down. Put your turkey, put your gravy, and your mashed potatoes.
How,
Your
do you remember how much it was?
Maybe 95 cents. Maybe.
Was this around the same time when you went to Woolworth or Woolco? They would have a little diner set up in there?
Yep.
Is
that
that
was
around
on
the
Elm
same
Street.
time?
Yeah.
So what was the name of number 5?
That was called the Webster lunch.
Webster, and it was just open for lunch.
No, that was named the Webster.
Could you go
lunch.
there for dinner?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. You could go there morning, noon, and and supper time.
number 4.
Number 4. I would have to say the back room when they were on Elm Street.
When they're on Elm Street. Okay.
That takes you back, folks.
So I know of the Puritan being on near the pool, Livingston Pool. That would be in the Hooksett side of Manchester.
Yep, they're up. Though they're
And
still
they
in
were
Manchester.
on Elm Street.
Yes,
Where was the Puritan on Elm Street?
I would say not right around. I would say, if I remember right, it was right around Hanover Street.
Where the
that
Palace
area.
Theater is? Where the Palace
Right
Theater?
around that area.
And was it a big place?
It was more. It wasn't that big.
Was it in a?
It was more like
Was the
going for
structure-
sandwiches
is
and
the
ice
stru-
cream place.
Is the
really.
structure still there?
Yes, it is.
Okay. At the end of
Yes, it is.
Hanover Street,
Yeah.
where Palace Theater is.
Yeah, it's
It
right
was
in
the
that
Puritan.
area.
Now, were they still doing chicken tenders? Was that still?
They
there?
wasn't really known for that.
Really?
Yeah,
Because that's all the.
yeah, yeah. That was the chicken tenders came out later.
So the
Much later.
was it called the Puritan Back Room?
It was called the Puritan restaurant.
So what do you think of the Puritan now?
Well, they had what they call, you got your front room and you got your back room. That's where they get it from. Because I know I worked there twice.
Did you?
Yeah.
As a part-time job?
Yeah, it was part-time, yeah.
I did not know that there was. So this is the same Puritan restaurant. They just moved.
Yes, that's what they were.
Too bad they weren't still there because what's down there now? There's a chicken place down there.
No, they have everything.
No, I mean right
Down
now
there,
there's
I'm not,
there's like a Chicken USA or something, or right now.
right now, I think there is a restaurant in that area.
Really?
I don't go down Elm Street too often.
Now that this studio is here.
And my other restaurant we go
fantastic.
to is Anton's.
Okay, number 3. Anton's. Still open?
No.
Where was it located?
They were on the corner of Hancock and Second
The
Street.
name sounds very familiar. Very familiar.
There
What was
used
their
to be,
fare?
what was it, Suzuki's used to be there?
Yes, yeah.
That's where Anton's
Wait,
was
what kind
before
of
they
fare was
came
it?
in.
Was it like a Greek, Italian?
It was Italian restaurant, a little mix of Italian and Greek. I know I worked there too.
60s, 70s, 80s?
I would say the 80s.
Why does Anton sound so familiar? Is there?
It was well known,
Yes.
Anton's. They used to have buses, I mean literally buses coming from all over the states just to go there and eat.
Really?
Because when you walked in, it was a good sized place and everything. I got that, I'm starting to.
I'm
And
getting hungry. I don't know about you.
me too. And they had what they call a roundabout. So you had salad, whatever you wanted.
What do you mean a roundabout?
I call it roundabout, where the food went around. You picked what you wanted.
Cut it out. So if I was sitting here, it would come by and I would
You
get
walk
it.
by, whatever you want, you walk by and pick the dish.
People
that
grab
you-
it with their hands?
with dishes.
like a
No,
terri-
they had it like tongs back then, silver tongs.
Could you imagine that today?
They don't do that, but very few places have that now.
Around
Anton.
them, and this was Anton's.
Yeah.
So you sat. How long was the circle?
Oh, it was a good. Oh my God.
Was it rotating?
Yeah. Yes.
So you'd have to wait for like, oh, here comes the. Here
No,
comes
there was
the.
enough so everybody could go right around it. and pick
Oh,
what
did
they
you?
wanted.
Were you sitting or you get up?
You had
and
to get
go?
up.
Oh,
You
okay.
had to get up.
I thought it was like
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
in
you had to
front of
get
you.
up. Well, really, you could sit here and you could see it going around.
Wow. Do you remember what my mother used to speak of, an automat, where you would get the sandwiches, like you put the money in and the door would slide and you would reach, kind of like a
Yes.
vending machine? But there was whole stores dedicated to that?
Yeah.
Was there
Yeah.
anything like
Howard
that?
Johnson had those.
Really?
They had different machines. In fact, they would.
I can almost
The one
picture
that
it like a
hooks it,
plastic
yeah.
door.
Years
it was
ago,
refrigerated.
they had a Howard Johnson in Hooksett. And they had one area you could go in and just put your money in and get sandwiches.
We could talk about this all day. Number 2.
Number 2,
So they did have an automat.
yeah,
An automat being a lot of different windows with sandwiches. Kind of more sanitary now, I would
Howard
think, right?
Johnson had that.
So you just go in and get your sandwich, pull it out, the door would close?
Yeah.
You see, to me, that sounds like a great idea to do right now.
Yes, it is.
seems
The way
very
things are going.
sanitary.
Yeah, it
Okay,
is.
number 2.
Number 2. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to think of the restaurant. It used to be on Elm Street. It
So
was a
Elm Street-
pizza place. It used to be a pizza place.
Cesario's?
I think that's what it is. The cereals used to
Aren't
be
they-
right, not too far off from where we used to go to.
No, they're
I
not-
think that was
wasn't-
good. The food was good
was
there.
that the first place that had a pinball machine in it? If that was from what I remember I was a kid. And number 1. You gotta
Number
go
1.
somewhere. We're going somewhere tonight, Mary. Tonight we're going. Where are we going to?
I'm trying to think what would be number 1.
If
I know
price
so
is
many.
no option, I want to weigh in. If price is no option, I would like to take you to Cotton. Have you been there?
Yes, I have.
I got a gift certificate
Do you?
during the winter time for Christmas, and I got like a $35, almost $40 porterhouse steak, and I got it to go, and it was amazing. It was amazing. But let's talk about $25 though.
Yeah. Well, you say
Where's yours?
Piccola. I would say Piccola.
Where's Piccola?
Piccola.
Describe Piccola.
They're on a corner between Merrimack and Manchester Street. It is
Manchester.
an Italian place.
Manchester and Merrimack, okay?
They're right there, right on Elm Street.
I'm glad to see that Elm
Right
Street
there.
is still
Because one was it? The other one is
going
called
very culinary.
101 or something on the other side of it.
Piccola, so it's
An
Italian,
Italian.
but not corporate, not a franchise.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
A family runs it?
It's a family run.
Because I'm looking for something for dinner. This time's going by fast. Let's try to get another call in. Agnes?
Agnes!
Hello, everybody. You know something? You've had some fantastic shows, Mr. G. But
Thank you.
I cannot believe that you have Mary of Cruisin with Mary on the Midlife Pop Culture Show.
Me
We
either.
here at the community are absolutely out of our minds to be able to talk to Mary and ask her some questions. We watch Cruisin with Mary all the time, and we just cannot believe we have the opportunity to ask you some questions.
Yes. Ask away.
Historically, this
Oh, boy.
area was first civilized, if you would, by the Uncanunic Indian tribes, and then
Oh boy, she's going way back.
came into British rule in the 17 and 1600s.
Wow.
When industrialization jumping through in a few years, we have found Manchester, New Hampshire grew up around its form of millwork and such. Mary, you're a long-time resident and proud of it.
Yes, I am.
Of Manchester. Could you tell us your thoughts about where Manchester was, where it is today, and some good news about where it's gonna be in the future?
Wow.
Mary, it's a pleasure to finally be able to reach out and
It's
talk
a pleasure
to you.
to talk to you.
Mr. G, Keep up the good work. I hope everybody's having a good summer. Stay hydrated and stay in the AC.
That's a lot to decipher.
Yeah.
We only have about 7 or 8 minutes left, so let me
let's
see if I can
throw.
break this down for you. Okay? She went over the history that Manchester used to be Indians for many, 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 many years. Then it became British rule in the 1700s. Then it became a mill town with the Amoskeet Mills.
Wambach. I
What-
worked there too.
what was Wambach?
Wambach.
Yeah, I mean,
was
it's still a
mill.
sign for
Yeah,
Wambach.
it's still there, but everything is gone. It was a woolen mill.
Uh-huh.
They had you were
Is it-
weavers, doffers, all that.
Isn't that what Manchester was really known for during
Yes.
that time, was weaving?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I was a weaver back then.
I heard a lot of sad stories about child
Yeah, there's
labor.
a lot of things that went on, and that was before I came in, because I went into the 80s when I went. I take that back. I was late 70s
Wow.
when I started
Wasn't that kind
there.
of getting near the end?
Yeah,
around the
I
70s?
was there 2 years before they closed up and sold out.
And the Merrimack River at that time was pretty green and not moving.
Oh God, it was terrible.
Yes, boy. Yeah, really. Before regulation,
Yeah,
EPA, Manchester, like not just pointing out Manchester, but mills throughout up and down the Merrimack
Yeah.
River were
You-
dumping,
you know,
dumping
places-
dyes and it killed off the river.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You take, like Granite State Park, and then there was the soup company. Campbell Soup was here in Manchester.
Really.
And oh boy, could you smell their soup? Oh my God.
Do you remember the tannery?
Yes.
That was up Nashua Way, but when the tannery was going, it's
It's
was-
over here at the tannery. I worked just a half a day in the tannery, and I couldn't take it.
Really?
I walked out at 12 o'clock.
good for you.
Couldn't take it. Then I went and made caskets afterwards.
Where was there a casket company in town?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Where's Manchester been? I mean, where is it now? And where do you think hopefully it's going to be going?
Well, right now, it's not where it should be right now. Let's hope for the future. I maybe not be around when the new future and everything else for Manchester, but I hope something that can be joint everybody together, not separate this one, separate that one, but everybody has to get together to make one. If you want to make one, you got to get together.
And I think I would agree with you that Manchester does have
You're separated.
the resources
Yes.
and the area to be successful. I know, like now there's Dean Kamen, I think is
Yeah.
making all. He made the Segway, and he's doing a lot of. So I think there could be a lot of employment in technical areas as well as production and culinary. Let's take one more call. Willie.
Mary, it's so good to be talking to you, Mary. I want to talk to you about cats. I know you're a big cat lover. I'm checking in on what's happening in the feline cat line of your life right now. This is Willie. Yeah, I love my cat. I
Me
even
too.
think her name is Tabby. Tabby Cat, yeah.
Tabby Cat.
You know, she's sort of like my emotional support cat. She's there for me. She doesn't ask questions. I take care of her, and we have like a bond.
Yeah.
Wow, Mary. Can you tell me what's happening in the cats in your life and tell everybody why they should
Oh, I sure can.
get their cats spayed and neutered and treat them well? Support the local dog and cat shelters in the area.
Thank you, Willie.
Be kind to your cats. Mary, it's been a pleasure. Mr. G, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Mary, I know you're a cat enthusiast. We don't have much time, but give us a quick update on your cats and what's happening in Catland.
Well, I have 3 cats. I got 2 of them were brought in by birth. That's Crystal, baby, and her sister, Ladina. Her name is Querida Bicanina Adelaidina.
What kind of cats are they?
Portuguese name means darling little Addie in English.
Darling little Addie.
Means in English. They're tortoise.
What does that mean?
Tortoise is like you know what how can I say?
Like a tiger cat kind of?
No,
market?
she's like, they're brown, black. I was going with green. They're a little yellow mix. They're a little bit of, they're like a turtle, in other words. They're color of a turtle.
And they pretty much
That's what they
run,
call.
They pretty much run the house, run the
They
roost.
do.
Yes.
They do. And I have Miss Kitty. She is a Maine Coon.
Yes, big cat.
Yeah, she is getting bigger now.
Yeah.
But my Ladina, she weighs 25 pounds.
Now, who's the oldest?
They're twins.
Oh.
But Ladina is by 2 hours.
Yeah.
Her sister's the youngest. 2 hours later. I literally had to bring the babies out.
Oh, wow. Who had the cat?
I literally brought the
Did
babies.
you have the mama cat still?
No, I don't.
Oh.
No.
But you were there when it was happening.
Yeah, when she had them, I brought the babies out.
Unfortunately, we're out of time.
This was fun.
Wow. And I have a couple of people on call that I'm not going to be able to get to. I want to thank Mary. Maybe she'll have me back.
Of course.
I'm going to be on her show tomorrow.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock with the whole host of characters that you have on. And I'm just going to sit there and just take it all in. But we hope you enjoyed Midlife Pop Culture Show. And I hope you took something away about how knowledgeable Mary is and how fantastic Manchester is and some places to eat. And where are we going to eat today? I'm thinking the back room chicken tenders. What do you?
I love the chicken tender.
Oh, thank you, everybody. God bless.
Harry, it's so good to be talking to you. It's a midlife pop culture show for those of us who were born a few years ago. Let's show those millennials all the things we know. Being old makes us wise. Sometimes we even go outside. We know about life before 1999. You haven't seen nothing yet.